I will try to describe you what is the strategy of Michelin as tire manufacturer in this domain of sustainability. And I will be very glad to answer your question after my introduction. So first of all, starting this introduction, I would like to describe more in details the global ambitions of Michelin Group as a global entity in terms of sustainability and development of this sustainability. For us, sustainability means to have a balance between three key domains, between environmental aspect on the planet, between development of the people that work in the company and where the company work for our customers, and last but not least, having a profitable company, enabling to have a high level of growth in the future. For having this ambition, Michelin has some key capabilities. Worldwide strong values shared by more than 100,000 people around the world, a strong brand with Michelin and the famous Bibendum for this brand, a deep technical expertise in design, in mechanical design, in material design, in process design and process development and scale up of at industrial level, in innovations where we have a strong scorecard of key innovation during more than 100 years of development of our company. And last but not least, we go from the material to the customer, delivering our customer a different type of product, different type of tires, in aircraft business line, in agricultural tires, in personal car tires, and having a strong expertise in analyzing the satisfaction of our customer on the product, and having a good intimacy with these customers. And for going to this ambition, we will deliver. Our ambition is to deliver to our customers new and innovative products and services in a context of these different businesses. When we talk about sustainability, I think it's really important to define that holistically. That means we are in a context with a tire where the key part of the externalities, the environmental externalities, come from the performances of the product in itself, delivering a high level of endurance, delivering a high level of wear performance, of rolling resistance, is a key point for having a low impact on planet product. And our strategy, we define that with this 4R, by recognizing that going from a linear to a circular economy is making both a good usage performance and a good and sustainable supply of the materials. When we talk about 4R, we think about reducing the impact during the life of the product, increasing the lifespan of the product, making some products that are recyclable or made with products that had a first life previously, and making our products with materials that are renewable. That means replenishable at a time of at a human time, not at a geological time. And when we talk about this 4R strategy, it's very concretely involving our practice of life cycle analysis for evaluating our solutions and being holistically and being able to compare them and make the good choice of technology. And we talk about 4R. When we talk about 4R, we recognize that it's not only a question of transformation technology, of choosing the right technology. It's a question of waste management, of transportation of this waste, of preparation of the waste to make a good feedstock for the technology that is involved in the recycling aspect. Not only technology, but the whole value chain has to be considered when you talk about circular economy and recycling strategy. For a company like Michelin, you have to keep in mind that sustainability is deeply involving sustainable raw materials. Because when we talk about delivering all the product to our customer, we talk about 4 million tons of raw materials per year that are needed for our plants to deliver the product to the customers. And 4 million tons of product to go from that have to go from a linear to a circular business model is really something impactful for the company and impactful for the planet too when we will succeed it. Today we are in a situation where about 28% of our material are considered as sustainable raw materials and are considered in our KPI, our key performance indicators that we call sustainable material rate, SMR. And our intent is to go to 40% in the next 10 years. This 40% will be delivered thanks to different technologies that I will try to describe you for giving you a global picture of what we are developing internally or with partnerships. And I put the strategy till 2050 because it's very important to consider that the tire will change. Our usage, our context, the vehicles, the type of motorization are changing. And I put here the vision tire for Michelin to explain that in the next years, probably the product in itself will change a lot, being more respectful of the planet, being probably very different than the today tire we know on our cars or trucks and so on. To succeed in this roadmap, to be on the way to the 100% in 2050, we have started to launch different research and development activities in all the different domains of research of materials that are needed to make a tire. And keep in mind that a tire is really a rubber composite. We have rubbers, but we have a lot of other components like metal cords, like textile cords, like additives in the composition, including fillers to deliver for example, the wear performance to our customers. And that means that our research plan and research roadmap is involving a lot of different areas of research. And my proposition in the next minutes is to try to show you 5 examples of technology and research that we have launched in these different domains. First of all, I will start with this activity that is considering the obtention of micronized rubber powder. That's a very interesting technology that we have developed with, and we are on progress to develop it with Lehigh Technologies, that is an entity of Michelin Group since 2017, based in the US. And this technology is constituted by a cryo grinding of end-of-life tire rubber. That means after separating rubber from steel, from textile, we grind rubber in very thin powder, below 200 micrometers typical size. And with this type of micronized rubber powder, we observe that we are in a very good situation to integrate this thin powder in a lot of different applications, including tires, but including other potential areas of application like asphalts, construction materials, or other plastics for different type of benefit sustainability, but sometimes additional benefits like noise absorption, for example. And it's really interesting to develop this technology based on a single cryo grinding process, but that is really under control in terms of size, in terms of quality of the materials, and give us a certain versatility and ability to be included in different products. Second example I would like to take is the example of the pyrolysis technology. Pyrolysis is a process without oxygen that considers a high temperature in a oven for end-of-life tire part, sub-component. And thanks to this pyrolysis, we go back to certain components, pyrolytic oils, gases, and recovered carbon black. And the ability to obtain recovered carbon black, we recognize that as very interesting and try to develop our strategy in this area of recovered carbon black. Screening the different solutions on the market, we identified that a Swedish company called Scandinavian Enviro had really an interesting proprietary technology that could give us very good performances in our formulas and receipt of rubber. And that's why we had, after identifying them, we create a partnership with them. And this year we were very proud to propose to the market for the tire championship in electric moto, a first motorcycle, a first tire with including this solution of recovered carbon black. Recovered carbon black and our partnership with Enviro is constituted by 4 areas of partnership. The first one is to have a development agreement. That means when you have a recycling solution that has been developed at pilot scale, you will have to develop it at larger scale, a high level of investment resources to deploy to succeed in this scaling up. And we are engaged with them to develop this scale up. Secondly, we have a capital investment in the company. Thirdly, we have a very interesting project in Chile with them to develop a recycling plant dedicated to mine earth mover tires. It will be probably the first time at this volume that we develop a recycling facility based on this technology, and with the ability to use the earth mover tires locally arrived at their end of life, cut in different parts and integrated in this pyrolysis process. We target to start the production in 2023 in Chile with this technology. And globally, we have a supply agreement with Enviro to integrate recovered carbon black more and more in our different products, different tire ranges. Well, in the 2 first examples I chose, we were in situation where it was our own waste, end-of-life tires, that is considered to create new secondary raw material. I choose here another example to show you that circular economy is very often involving a cross partnership between different value chains, because the waste of one value chain could become the raw material of another. And it's to show you how we need in this circular economy strategy at a worldwide level and to cooperate between value chains. Here we are in a situation where we developed with another startup based in Canada called PyroWave, a joint development agreement to accelerate the very interesting technology of microwave to depolymerize polystyrene and to go back to styrene monomer. Obtaining this styrene monomer after we develop the ability to repolymerize this styrene monomer to reobtain our styrene butadiene rubber, that is a famous elastomer that we include in our tire composition. This very interesting project developed with this startup is really one of our high priority projects. Because we will be in a situation where a very important sustainable part of our tires will be in a situation to include this type of styrene in our composition. To complete the previous example I showed you with around pyrolysis, I would like to introduce you another project that we launched that is purely a research project based in Europe, and this project is called Black Cycle. Our intent here is based on a diagnosis put in this that we have done 3 years ago on pyrolysis. We have worldwide a lot of actors on pyrolysis, making a lot of development on recovered carbon black, but in a lot of cases they do not consider a global approach on all the co-products that are delivered during this pyrolysis. That means, as I mentioned you have pyrolytic oils with different type of oils fraction of mass fraction. You have recovered carbon black and you have gases. And what we try to develop in this project, that is a European project with different partners, we try to consider a project where we will transform all the end-of-life tire into secondary raw materials valuable for different high-tech products. And this is a challenge to ensure that in this transformation through pyrolysis, all the components are finally used in a product and not considered as waste or used for combustion. And to be able to achieve this goal of having 100 sustainable raw material from end-of-life tires, we observed that it was necessary to create a value chain and to gather other partners having key competencies at laboratory scales with research centers, at industrial scales with industrial. If I take example, for example, carbon black supplier Orion is part of the project, because to succeed in creating, because one part of the project is to be able to create new carbon black from pyrolytic oils. And here we have a strong partnership with them because they are able to modify their process to make this scale up of creating sustainable carbon black from pyrolytic oils. In this project, it's a partnership between industrial partners, research center, and technical organization. And we were very proud to be granted by European Commission by a very important grant that is about 12 million on a project that is at 16 million euro during 3-year project. In this project, our intent is to deploy that at European level, to consider 50% of the European end-of-life tire in this process, and being able to transform them into secondary raw materials. SRM is secondary raw material, And if we succeed in that ambition, it will be a drastic cut of CO2 emission, going from decreasing from globally about 1 kg of CO2 per kg of raw material included in tires. And that's really a great challenge and a very enthusiastic project to succeed for decreasing this environmental impact of the tire production. And it's really a key project for going to a real circular economy in the tire industry. Now I choose another example that is on progress in our research plan on reinforcement, not in that case in the domain of rubbers, of mixes, but more in the domain of reinforcement technologies. We have a partnership with a French startup called Carbios in the domain of recovered PET. As you know, PET is in the constitution of tire carcasses for personal car tires. We use a lot in the tire industry. It's fossil based today. And with Carbios, we have a very interesting technology that is more in the domain of biotechnology, biotech. And it is very interesting to consider that biotech is really an enabler of accelerating circular economy. And we have this project in this example, but we are developing a strong strategy around that. And we consider here the ability to transform a bottle of PET. It could be a clear bottle purely with PET, or a more complex, and that point is very interesting, a more complex multi-layer bottle with different type of material, or colored with different additives bottle. And in this case, the historical mechanical grinding and recovering PET into a new PET by just grinding mechanically the material is not a relevant technology when you are in multi-layer or a complex waste situation. And this technology is really interesting because enzymatic biotechnology has a sorting technology at very local state of the material, at very low temperature, at very low pressure, and that's really interesting for the economical efficiency and ecological efficiency of the technology. And we were very proud this year to obtain the first result at lab scale for the moment of all the technical characteristics of a PET dedicated to tires that probably you know is very specific to this application, and that is very demanding as very demanding specifications. We are very proud to demonstrate that the feasibility at lab scale of the technology. And now our intent with this technology is to make the scale up of this interesting technology. And same thing that what I told you for the Black Cycle project example. Here we are deeply convinced that we will have to gather a consortium of actors to be successful in this domain, because the success of such a PET circular economy will not involve only the technology, but globally all the collection aspect, post-treatment of the waste, technology, and after integration in the final product. Here is my last slide, just to summarize you what I try to introduce. That means that for a tire manufacturer, sustainability is really something important, impactful, that, and that's the case for us, for Michelin, that involve a lot of technology, a lot of novelty for design aspect, industrial aspect, and that and involve in a lot of cases deep interaction with the different ecosystem, laboratory, other industrial in the value chain, and all the ecosystem, generally speaking. Thank you for your attention.